I was taught to cook by my mother. This is my grandmother. This is my mother-in-law. This is what I need to pass down to my kids. Right here in this drawer, this messy box here. So anyway, I just found it very interesting. I finally actually took some time out of my busy schedule because I'm taking part in this contest to reflect and look at some of the stuff that I've had for years, and it's very interesting. The smells, it just takes me back to my childhood. So actually today I'm going to teach you how to make a great dish that we have here in our family. Okay, here we go. I am Tammy. I'm coming to you from Eatonville, Washington. It is God's country. And I am now going to show you how to make my Philadelphia cream cheese artichoke topped chicken. Alright, so here we go. The ingredients for the dish, I'm gonna show you the ingredients for the stuffing. Topping, whatever you want to call it. We were trying to figure out, is it topping or is it filling or is it stuffing? Well, the chicken is not stuffed and it's not filled, so we're going to call it topping. So, first ingredient, of course, is the Philadelphia cream cheese, 8 ounces. A 1/4 cup of mozzarella. It's a shredded mozzarella. It does have a blend of provolone and cheddar cheese. Capers. I don't know if everyone knows what capers are, so I'm going to let you know. This is about a tablespoon and a half of capers with their juice. Capers are a flower bud type spice. I don't know if they're called a spice. They're a flower bud from the Mediterranean area, and they're usually pickled, and they're incorporated into different recipes. I use capers a lot when I cook. Then I have artichoke hearts here, and prosciutto. Prosciutto is a dry-aged cured ham. It can sometimes be cured almost 2 years. It's very salty. It's you can actually smell the salt on it. It's not something that you really want to just eat by itself. It's great wrapped around cantaloupe, however, but it's great. I use a lot when I cook. So that's prosciutto. I'm going to chop that in a little bit, and then we have 3 lovely. Oh, I love the smell of basil. 3 lovely basil leaves. 1 teaspoon of salt. I don't use a lot of salt in this recipe because the prosciutto has a lot of salt. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of dried rosemary. I would like to use fresh. I just cannot get it in our supermarket. It's a pretty small, and they don't carry a lot of fresh herbs. So you're welcome to use a fresh rosemary. That would probably make it really tasty. And I have a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I love to pepper things. Pepper is one of my favorite spices. So my husband always says that, woo, you spice things up too much. But I really like the pepper, so that's why I use a lot of pepper. Okay, and then we have 4 garlic cloves. I'm going to be chopping up the garlic cloves, and I'm also going to be chopping up the basil and the artichokes. And of course we have our chicken breasts here. I have 4 chicken breasts. I've butterflied 3 of them, and I'm also going to show you how to butterfly, so I left one, and and now I'm going to show you a great trick that I learned for dicing basil really quickly. So first off, you take the 3 leaves. I have 3 pretty large leaves, and you actually roll them up like this. It's very, very handy. Now, well, bells are ringing. Okay, so then we take this and we just kind of cut it in half, because I want it a small dice, and we're just going to do this. This is so tricky. And there you go. You're ready to go. Just like that. So there is the basil. I'm going to push this off to the side. And now we're just going to get chopping the rest of the ingredients. And then we're going to incorporate all the stuffing, topping mixed together in a pan. And so I just need a minute to chop all this stuff together. Alright, so I've chopped up the artichoke hearts, the basil, the garlic, and the prosciutto, and I'm going to add it to the pan here. It doesn't have to go in any particular order, really. It's all going to end up in the same spot. So, and now we're going to add the rosemary, red pepper flakes, salt, and the pepper, black pepper, capers, mozzarella, blend, little Parmesan cheese, and last but not least, of course, the Philadelphia cream cheese. I saved this from my last video. I love this little thing. I call it a pumpkin master. It is a pumpkin master. It's something my kids had when they were younger. Now they're a lot older. Some of them have moved out to carve their pumpkins and scoop out their pumpkins, and it is really, really handy. So I'm going to use it. It's funny how little things work well. So I'm just going to scoop that down there. And now I need to put this on heat. I need to melt it all together, and that is what we will use for the topping of the chicken. So follow me over to the stove. Okay. Here we are. Now we're just need all this Philadelphia cream cheese to melt in here really good. And once that gets melted all in, then the stuffing part, I always call it stuffing, the topping part will be ready. And then we will cook off the chicken. So here we go. The Philadelphia cheese is all melted, as well as the Parmesan and the mozzarella. I wish you could be here right now and smell the smell coming out of this pan. It is awesome. So now we're just going to set this off to the side, and I'm going to show you how to butterfly a piece of chicken. The first step in butterflying chicken is you have to take control of your bird. You have to own the bird. All right, so here we go. What you're going to do is, all you're going to do is make a slice up the center here, right up the side, and you're just going to cut through. And we're just filleting it right open. And that's all there is to it. Makes a thinner piece of chicken. Isn't that gorgeous? Time to cook the chicken. I have seasoned the chicken very lightly with a Johnny's seasoning salt. This is a Northwest salt. It's from Johnny's Fine Foods in Tacoma. They actually have a couple of restaurants also, and it's very popular around the Northwest. So I've seasoned it with that. If you can't get Johnny's, another type of seasoning salt would be just fine, I'm sure. So flour, just a slight bit of flour, and I've got about probably 1/8 of a cup of canola oil, just right in the pan. Any type of oil will do. That's just the type that I use. What we're going to do here is we're going to cook the chicken for about probably, I'd say 4 minutes per side, maybe a little bit longer. Got to get it up to the 165. You do not want to dry out your chicken. All right, it's time to remove the chicken from the heat. You just need to put it over here. Oh, what do we have here? It's a grown in Washington chicken. What are you doing here, little fella? Are you checking on your cousins? I got bad news for you. It's a little late for that. You really need to get out of here. Get back to the chicken coop. See you later. Oh, I'm really sorry about that interruption. Okay, let's get the chicken loaded up here and let's continue on. What I've done here is I've put a small mound of the topping on my beautiful platter here, and now I'm just going to place the chicken, each chicken breast, on top of each mound of topping. And to do the final touch, we're going to go ahead and top each with a little of the topping also. Pardon my fingers. It's what we do when we cook at home. We get to use our fingers because no one's watching. Like my finger, I have a problem. Okay. So there we go. Let me grab a towel here. I usually have one of these over my shoulder at all times when I'm cooking. I'll just throw it over there. Okay. I've made my really pretty little garnish here. With some red pepper and a little basil. Now I'm just going to go ahead and top it with some Parmesan cheese. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and pair this tonight with a great Chardonnay that I enjoy. I am a real woman of Philadelphia. They love me. They love me.